Right, I think I've got this sorted now. Cleaned up all the contacts on the amps where they all plug in and everything. If you overload it, you have to switch it off at the mains. You can't just switch it off on the front panel knob because it's got a detector running off the mains as well. So switch it off at the mains and back on. If you overload it and cut it out, which I did by running it flat out. Anyway, I'm just going to show you now it's working fine. I got it in bridge mode, and up here I can turn up the amps. If at 1 amp it's drawing over 200 watts, so 1/2 amps about 300 watts of power. I also put a scope on it just to see that the signal was not peaking out on one channel or the other, which it's not. I've taken the soft clipping off. I don't know if you like that on or off. I prefer it off. I've got it on the variable, but I've got it on maximum input. It's only one channel. I've got a record here with tons of percussion. I mean, it really hammers it. So I'll just play that and show you it working. It's track 3. See, it's really punching the and we can look at the amps. I think we're over there. That was punching about 300 watts on the peaks, so that's pretty impressive, very loud. It's just coming back up again now. Let's oops. Here it comes. Okay, let's turn it up. Turn it down on here. That's so I think that's working pretty good now. It's very loud. I don't know if you run it flat out, but it doesn't seem to have a problem anymore. I'm assuming all these connections down here which are plugged, replugged. I looked at all the components, everything, and it seems to be working fine now. Turn it down. There's not much else I can do. I checked the temperature on these. They're both about the same now. They get, when you run them flat out, they get quite warm. So that's always a way of telling if there's something going wrong. If something gets too hot, you can check these capacitors, which get hammering at high volume. If they're faulty, they get hot, and they're not. So very impressive amp, and it's running flat out. Very loud indeed. There's a scope. I just got. I was just checking the signal wasn't distorting. So yeah, I think that's working okay now. It's just one of those things. As I said, if you do run it flat out and the overload cuts out, just switch it off at the mains. Not just on the front panel, and it'll reset